Why are you so cute? And we are live. Welcome to episode 17 of season 4. It has been one hell of a year. Nia's with me today. She's being a little clingy. She doesn't see me like all week, so you know, she's wanting to hang out. So we have a special guest, Nia, on the show tonight. But besides that, it's just gonna be me solo. I really want to talk about, the things that have happened this year and last year that led to this year and just kind of tie everything together for y'all. Because I feel like a lot of people just kind of know me from what I post and surface level stuff. So we going deep. We're celebrating tonight too with some Terramana. You know, can you smell it? I'm gonna put the rock on the rocks and drink that up because we hit affiliate. Nobody's in here yet, but affiliate is a big deal. So let's fucking go.
Wait, what? What am I doing? Created a movement, won't ruin what you are pursuing. But I wake up every morning, never yawning, cause I wake up with the intent to make the day my bitch. And I don't need it, you talking, so just shut your lips. Cause I'ma make it, yeah, I'ma make it, I'ma make it, I'ma make it. Lord have mercy, I'ma make it. I wake up with the intent to make the day my bitch. And I don't need it, you talking, so just shut your lips. I'ma make it, yeah, I'ma make it, I'ma make it, I'ma make it. Lord have mercy, I'ma make it. This shit is crazy, right? This shit is crazy.
This shit is crazy, right? This year has not at all has not at all been what I thought it would be. And that's not a bad thing. I just I love that sound. I just never in a million years would have thought that I released an art project. And not only that, but I'm into crypto heavy now. All the stuff that I've been wanting to do is just coming to fruition. And there's a reason for it because I've been grinding my ass off for, oh my God, way too long. Let's see. How long? I've been growing since 2016, the end of 2016, just growing cannabis. And when I first started growing, it was literally 2 plants in my good friend B Silva's not garage shed. That's the word. I couldn't think of it for a second. So we were literally growing 2 plants. The first time I ever transplanted a plant, I literally broke it. You would think I don't have a green thumb, but I do. It's there. It's green. No, maybe not. But from those failures, I learned so much. And then we started growing outdoors. Had massive failure there because of weather and friends of my old grow partner that may or may not have stolen from us. and but all that to say, it led me to where I am today because Nia's fighting sleep so hard right now. What's up, Chaotic? We're sipping some today. We're celebrating. We're affiliate Chaotic. So pour something up, roll something up. I think you're more of a smoker than a drinker. And let's fucking grow. But yeah, all that to say that all those mistakes and I guess more so lessons that happened with especially the first few years of growing just toughened up my skin enough to be able to survive these last couple of years. Because, like, all right, last year, January 2020, we are literally coming off of a $26,000 sales month in December, which was basically like our first full month in the mall. Yep. And everything seemed like we were unstoppable, essentially. And the shutdown said, haha, that's cute. How's this? And just shut down the economy. We went from like averaging $20,000 to $30,000 in sales a month to averaging like 3,000. It was a major hit. It caused my partner and I to see the future very differently. He wanted comfort. I wanted to keep pushing the boundaries. And he went with comfort, and I went with pushing boundaries and creating new things because that's what I'm all about. Mind you, I took like a $30,000 loss because of the business split. And that $30,000 loss almost made it so I couldn't grow this year. He's so silly. Um, so last year, like we had complete crop failure, 2020, and it was because of a drought and planting late. You're so cute. That's why you want to be on the show? Because you want to be the star of the show? Is that why? Got people asking when I'm live. Live. Now. I wish I had like an assistant in the background that could like type all this shit to people while I'm doing this. Um, so yeah, last year we had complete crop failure because of the drought and planting late, and so we got our ass handed to us. I was the only one working on the farm, so that was another big part in the partnership that kind of drove us to split. Is the fact that I did 99% of the work, especially the manual labor work, while he was sitting in an air conditioned lab. So it was just not a very fair thing whatsoever. And then they basically took everything. Um, it set me spiraling for a while. I can't lie. From like August 2020 to like January 21, I was in a horrible funk. Like, if you look at my Instagram, I didn't even post on my Instagram. The only things I was posting on Facebook was negativity. I was just in a bad, 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 bad place. Like we were just about to start paying ourselves before the shutdown, which would have led to being able to save for a house and getting out of the in-laws where we're at right now. And all that kind of went away. And it was like, fuck, what do I do? Sorry, Nia, for my language. And so I just rebranded my own CBD company and kind of kept it moving for my employees. And I think maybe just in the energy of helping people, I was given a tremendous opportunity to hop into crypto. Like October 2020, I tell a lot of people about this story. I could have bought Ethereum for $289. I was going to buy two of them for $600, and I just didn't know how. I was in the middle of my rebrand, and I just didn't do a simple Google search on how to buy Ethereum. Coinbase would have came up, and I would have just been able to buy it. Had I done that, I would have been able to buy some VFriends and stuff. So, um, January rolls around, and of 2021, after the rough year we had in 2020, I literally felt lost. I felt lost for a bit. Like I didn't know what to do. There was a lot of pressure from like my fiance because like this was supposed to pay the bills, buy us a house, get us out of here, and it no longer was. And it's a tough pill to swallow when you have to be like, because she was like, "What are we gonna do now?" And I'm like, I guess the same thing we do every day. Pinky, try to take over the world." And like I didn't have an answer. I didn't know what I was going to do. Some days I still don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm just treading water. You going nights? Oh, you want to sit on the bed? So January rolled around. I was feeling really lost. I wasn't feeling like myself, right? Like I was feeling like my old self, which I'm not a big fan of. I came from a very negative background, and I was feeling like my old self. I did some hormone testing around then and found out that I had super low testosterone, which definitely was not helping with, feeling lost and depressed and just down in general, right? Um, I went on testosterone treatment, and, I'll get to that in a few minutes because that's like one part of it. But around that time, too, that same month in January, I won Young Entrepreneur of the Year for New England for the cannabis community. This is the first award that I've ever won. Nini, can you go get my trophy? Go ask Mama for my trophy. Mama know what you mean. And it's the first trophy or award I've won. Besides like sales awards, I always got those. My trophy. Um, Besides like sales awards, I always got top 5 salesman, number 1 in the district, shit like that. But this is just different, right? Because one, before I was grinding on all this, I was grinding in the cannabis community heavy, giving away free work. and just doing everything that Gary essentially tells me to do, you know, trying to follow the Gary V model, and it really does fucking work. Unfortunately, the local cannabis scene is a little bit clicky, a little bit too clicky for me, and I took a step back. I don't like cliques forming and all this stuff. Like I don't like labels. I'm not a big fan of all that. Like I just want to be me. I just simply want to be Adam. And when communities don't allow me to do so, I skedaddle on out of there and find people that are more in my wheelhouse. That's not to say that there are not people within that community that are family still. There definitely are. I just try to avoid it a little bit these days with how the environment is and everything. The other really, 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 and I cannot express enough reallys, important thing that happened in January 2021 is that I watched a movie called Kiss the Ground. If you haven't seen it and you're into, me, my project, you're passionate about helping the earth, highly suggest watching it. It's one of 3 movies I have ever cried to. And like not just like a couple tears, like when something sad happens, bawling, ugly crying, boogers out my nose, just real life crying because I was like, holy shit. Like this is it. Like I think I'm onto something. The other 2 movies. What are the other 2 movies? Marley and Me, right? Who if you don't cry to Marley and Me, you don't have a soul.
I've seen you cry to a couple movies actually.
No, but really cry. Like a couple tears. Like I'm just a softie. I cry at everything, but like bawling. Like when Marley and Me happened, I just remembered my lab when I was a kid, and I just was like, ah! The other movie. I don't even think my fiance knows this. Love you, baby. No, fuck no. Passion of the Christ. I saw it in theaters with my uncle Brian, rest in peace. And I was going to Bible study. He was running Bible study and everything, and he's like, I want to go see this movie. Do you want to go see it with me? And I said, yeah, sure. And I don't know what it was about the movie. Like I've never been super religious, like a quote unquote Jesus freak or anything like my uncle would claim that he is, because he was a super Jesus freak and proud of it. Um, but just something about it, like I don't know if it was just because of like how the people turned on this man who's just legitimately trying to help people with every fiber in his being, and they're just fuck this guy, something's wrong with him. Like it just, I don't know what it was. It just made me bawl heavily. So yeah, those are my 3 movies: Passion of the Christ, Marley and Me, and now Kiss the Ground. Very random movies. They have nothing to do with each other. One's about Jesus, one's about a dog dying, and the other one's about saving the earth through regenerative farming. And it's funny because I was already kind of doing like 75% of regenerative farming without knowing that was a term before that movie. So when I watched Kiss the Ground, it was like the connector piece for me. At the time, I had already been talking to my business advisor, one of my business advisors, Eric Easterday, who's one of my partners now. We were talking about what we can do with hemp besides just CBD. And the first thing that came to mind was that we could do phytoremediation. Phytoremediation is just phyto means plant. Remediation means to fix something. So it's just fixing things by growing plants, essentially. Certain plants are hyperaccumulators like cannabis. So it means they accumulate, 10 times more. No, 100 times more of heavy metals, carbon, everything, more than like a grass or something like that would. So hyperaccumulators are super important when it comes to just making sure that you're actually phytoremediating and pulling carbon. You need a deep root system. Essentially, trees are great for phytoremediation too because they're giant trees. If you're just joining us now, I see 6 people in the Twitch. I'm celebrating today. We are affiliated. If you would like to and you really support everything I do, I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribe to my channel. I don't know if I put the pricing yet or if it automatically does it or how that works, but I'll get that all set up. My goal for 2022 for Twitch is to get 50 subscribers. So 1 new subscriber essentially a week. I do a show a week. I'm actually going to be doing 2 shows, maybe even 3 a week in 2022. We'll see. So I'm celebrating. I got some Terramana tequila and some lime juice on the rocks. If you're a drinker, pour up. If you're a smoker, smoke up. If you're like me and do both, because a dab is definitely coming next when I'm past a couple months into the happier months. So I watch Kiss the Ground. I cry. I have like an epiphany, guys. Like literally an epiphany. Like, oh my God, they talked about everything except fucking hemp. Why didn't they talk about hemp? Hemp is much better than all those plants that they said for what they're looking for. Why didn't they talk about hemp? And I just think that they don't know. Most people don't know. There's a lot of information about it all, but it's all spread here, there, everywhere, a billion different sites, paid studies that you got to get that I've paid for. Like there's so much information, but it's just not readily right there. You have to dig and comb and comb and comb. And it really just set me off into this path to where we are now. The other cool thing in January of this year, and I'm only in January, and we're talking about major things that happen. I'm feeling lost. I find out I have low testosterone. I watch a movie that changes my life. I get an award that just makes everything that just happened with my business partner meaningless because I'm like, fuck you, buddy. Like, who got the award? Everybody knows who did the work for our business. Everybody in the community knew who did the work for our business, and it was me. Did he do nothing? No, but I did 80% of the work. He was very smart. He had good ideas, just never executed them. I was the executor. Hence why I was the chief executive officer because that's what I did, even though he wouldn't accept it and called himself a co-CEO. You know, it was just a bad situation. So January is over with, and oh, actually no, right before January is over with, I finished my album. And I haven't finished an album in 5 years until this year. And it was a weird feeling for me, right? I've never not really had a successful album. I guess my last release wasn't the greatest in my history, but it was just flop season. Like it is. I have released 10 studio albums. I figured that out the other night when I had my boy Spencer on last week. 10 studio albums. I believe 6 of them were solo. I have never, I don't think, had an album as good as the one I released this year. And I have also never had an album slept on so much as the one this year. I think eventually people are going to look back at that album and be like, whoa, how did I miss this? Including myself. Like when I go back, I was really discouraged by just like the amount of plays and stuff. Like a lot of songs, I don't think any of the songs on the album have 100 plays on any of the digital streaming platforms, which is completely unlike any of my last projects. You know, like it was shocking. It was kind of like, damn, like my passion, I don't have a fan base anymore for that. Like I can't just release music on a whim and that's it. Like I have to, I'm not a full-time musician anymore. I guess this is just a hobby now. It was kind of a realization for me, and we'll get more into that in a second though. So February rolls around, and at this point I started looking at my crypto mistakes and I said, dude, I can't keep missing. And I just hopped in. The first thing I started doing was binary trading on Forex. So, you know, you trade on pips. You're basically betting on the house or against the house that it's going to go up and down 0.00001 point in percentage. It was kind of crazy. It did teach me how to read charts at like a base level. So that's cool. Like it taught me that. And it let me know how to watch for volatility in coins and stuff. But it was like, dude, I'd wake up, I'd get on my computer at 8 o'clock. The market opens at 9, I think, or 10. And I would just be on the computer till 2, 3 p.m. No stopping, like just trading. And I never really made money on it. You know, I lost probably $100 on it. I didn't go crazy. I was being conservative. But it taught me a lot, and it really made me dig my heels in deeper into the crypto market, and in order to really, you know, start learning about it, because I've had so many misses now. I missed out on Ethereum last year at $300. I missed out on Bitcoin when it was like $1 or $2. So I've had a few gigantic misses that would make it so I wouldn't even need any funding right now for my project. I would just be able to do everything I want to do, although that wouldn't be as much fun as building a community has been. So I got February of this year was heavy crypto, heavy crypto. I also got all my album out on all the DSPs, got the album cover made. I think I made it myself, actually. I did. I made the album cover myself, which I've never done. Um, that was the other thing. I kind of got into Photoshop a little bit, just basic, like 101, maybe even like 100 and a half, like it's just basic in order to do some of the stuff I need to do that I was paying people for before. Sipping time. Cheers, y'all. It's basically a margarita without the agave because I couldn't find agave in our house. So March rolls around. March is my birthday month. I turned 31. I was still going heavy on binary, but around now is when I was like, I don't know if I want to do this full time. Like this isn't I can't see myself doing this for the rest of my life type of thing. And I still love the group, the Hyena Hut that traded with me. I still talk to them. I could still hop into the group even if I wasn't trading, and they would show nothing but love. They're an amazing group of people, and they taught me a lot about crypto. So, they are the big reason why I went fully into crypto. My album released in March of this year, March 18th. It released on my birthday, Metempsychosis. And like I said, completely and utterly slept on. What that did to me, it was just weird. It was like an era in my life was over officially. Am I talented at making music? 1000%. Am I going to be a famous rapper? Most likely not. And that was the realization I had to come to essentially. Like, this was not my life purpose. I've done almost everything I want to do in music, almost. The only thing I'm missing is going on tour. That's like the only thing I want to do in music before I'm completely and utterly done. And it doesn't even have to be a crazy tour. I'm not talking about sold out arenas. I'm just talking about like 100 people shows that I could do 15 cities. What's up, Martina? Um, because it just feels like the last thing that I haven't done in my music career, right? So I was having this like identity crisis almost in March, guys. Like I was so in deep on the hemp side, and I was pulling away from a lot of the old things that I had done before in life, and it made it so I was just like, who the fuck am I? Who even am I anymore? Like I'm not a rapper. I can't say that I'm really a rapper. Um, where can I hear some of your music? So here, I'll put up a banner. So if you look up, hope I spelt that right. If you look this up, ATAC is my artist name, and if you go on to like Spotify or Apple, you can, if you search for ATAC, A-T-A-K, you'll be able to, if you go to the artist tab, you'll see me. I'll be like the 7th or 8th one down. I had really long hair, then I have like a striped shirt on or something like that. I'm leaning against the wall. Actually, let me see if I could find it for you so I could show you what it looks like, so you're not just, I'm an island boy. I've had that stuck in my head all night, guys. I don't know why. I'm surprised nobody from Rhode Island has like remixed it. I'm a Rhode Island boy, talking like Rhode Island boy. Don't mind me, guys. Oh man. Um, yeah, I'm having a hard time finding this. See, this is what I mean. Like, I'm just not famous anymore, I guess. Hmm. I also think Spotify doesn't have the greatest search engine. Apple Music does. Spotify.com. Profile. Oh, now it finally wants to give me my year wrapped up. Here we go for artists. All right, let me share my screen so I'm not just. Oh man, you could share. Huh. All right. Oh, so I guess my artist thing is actually this. So it's YW3. I guess that's the other way you could really find my music is probably I bet you if I search YW3 Casher, like that's my boy. Yeah, there it is. So my artist name has just been so hard to find because I switched what it was and then went back to it. So yeah, that's at my artist page to look. Oh, I'm a verified artist. I didn't even know that. Apparently, I have 13 monthly listeners. I didn't really know that either. um, hmm, that's interesting. Yeah, so that's how you can find my music. No, it's okay. It's completely okay. I kind of figured somebody would ask about that, and I'm happy you did. Um, Definitely check it out. That album was probably one of my most personal albums, and I will say this: I'm not done with music. I'm nowhere near done with music. Um, I have a 5-song EP done already, so that means I've made 20 full length songs this year, essentially. Um, and I'm releasing it as an NFT project April 26th. I don't know exactly how I'm doing it because my original idea was to create a metaverse version of me and then basically have the person shoot a music video within the metaverse. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get that done in 4 months with the way the technology is and everything right now and the way my pockets are set up. I just don't think that that's going to be realistic. So I'm looking to make like a PFP style NFT project for my artist page, maybe including like posters and like physical merch within it, as well as like free tickets to shows. Because the only purpose of the NFT project, well, two purposes. Why not? Because if something happens and I blow up, it's going to be worth more to the people holding it, and that's what I want. And two, I want to use it to fund a tour. I think my boy Matt is going to go with me. Maybe it depends on how his work schedule goes, but if not, I'll be going on tour solo, going to like the 10 to 15 cities where I knew the most people in music online from all my years of doing it since 2003. Getting with some dope artists that could sell some tickets and really just putting on dope shows, traveling across the country for like a month and just doing a tour. That's really what I want to do. I hope I can make it happen. We shall see. So that's coming out next year. So now we got through January, February, and March. It's already crazy things that have happened the first quarter of the year, essentially, and things that I would have really never been able to predict before, right? So April rolls around. I start seeing announcements for V Friends from Gary V. And I look at what the floor price is going to be for the auction. And I was like, fuck, I'm not going to get a V Friend. This sucks. I really wanted a V Friend. I had no clue really like what it was gonna do. I just know when Gary's that bullish on something, you buy it. That's how life is with Gary V. When he's super bullish like that, you just have to buy it. There's no fucking ifs, ands, or buts about it. So my mistake of not buying Ethereum in October came back to bite me in the ass a little bit, right? I was feeling bummed out for like a day, and then I just remembered that being bummed out about it isn't going to help me or anybody else, right? And I also remembered that Gary says to give more than you ask. So I wasn't going to go start asking for anything because I'm not that kind of person. So I just started giving. I went into the Discord for V Friends. I gave away like probably 40 Clubhouse invites. There was an event, and this is actually where I met Sarah, who commented there. Um, there was a time when Clubhouse was not on Android, and so I took Clubhouse, put it to this microphone, and live streamed it to everybody. there was probably only like 10 to 15 people in the room. It wasn't like a major thing, but those 10 to 15 people, like I talked to all of them still because they just realized like, damn, like this dude just wants to help everybody. I was in there hyping everybody up when they would win giveaways and just overall just trying to be supportive. Yeah, it was so freaking random. You were literally the first V fam that I met, Sarah. To put that into perspective. So I just help. Help, 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 help. April's also a tough month for me because this year is the 10-year anniversary of my Nana passing away, and her birthday is April 26th. So usually around that time, I get into a little funk for about a week too. So that happened. May rolls around. Again, I'm just doing what I have to do. I'm just plugging, giving, nonstop, right? V Friends comes out. I'm not getting a V Friend. I couldn't afford it. Looking back on it, though, I made another mistake in May. You want to know what it was? I could have liquidated all of my stocks in crypto and had about 0.75 Ethereum, and that would have been enough to buy a V Friend. We all know how much those are worth now and what they've been worth. You know, like they've been worth upwards of $90,000. I've had offers of $90,000 to $100,000 on mine. So you know, I screwed up a little bit. I did. I'll admit it. But I got lucky. I got lucky. I am lucky. I used to say I was an unlucky person until this year. 2021 completely and utterly changed that for me. So in May, I won a V Friend. A lot of you guys already know that. I won a Gary owned original V Friend, and I had been hyping everybody up that was winning. And I said to one of the people, I was like, "Oh, that one's really dope. I think if I won that, I would get it tattooed on myself." And I said, "You know what? Maybe I'll just choose one and get it tatted on me anyways. Like I fucking love Gary so much. He's done so much for my business. Yada 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 yada. Just being a complete fucking mush ball." So I win the V Friend. Gary says, "Let's see that tattoo, Adam." And 3 days later, it was on my skin. More importantly, though, I mentioned earlier that I was on testosterone treatments from starting off in like January, February. I was finally starting to get my testosterone levels back to normal, and I was going to get off testosterone. And then, literally 13 hours after I won my V Friend, I was driving across the street to pick up my lunch, stopped at a red light. It turned green. I looked both ways. There was 4 lanes of traffic, 2 on each side in Dartmouth. And I looked, everybody stopped. I looked, everybody stopped. So I proceed. And the guy, I guess he went around in the breakdown lane. His foot got caught under the brake or something like that, he says. And just boom, hits me doing like 30, 40 miles an hour. Totaled the car, which at the time we were literally like, I'm pretty sure we were sharing a car. Maybe not by that point. I bought my fiance a car this year with some extra money I had because we were sharing a car. I just don't remember if it was before or after that. So, we were hurting though. Oh wait, no, she picked me up. So we had 2 cars, but now we're down to sharing 1 car, and that doesn't work. So luckily I got a rental because it wasn't my fault. So it wasn't too much of a hindrance there, but it did give me a really bad concussion. And if you know anything about traumatic brain injuries, they wreak havoc on your endocrine system and your hormones, especially since it was my 3rd, possibly 4th concussion in my life. This brought up a lot of old trauma. I can't even explain it. Like just things that I've never thought about before are just popping up in my head again. I started getting more anger again, like because I used to be a very angry kid and was always very angry growing up. Lived a very negative lifestyle, and it was just coming out again. Come to find out, my testosterone after my car accident was 4 times lower than when I started in January. while I am on testosterone, guys. So my body basically stopped producing testosterone. It went into like fight or flight mode. Like, we need to survive. We don't need to have kids right now. We're just going to survive to get your brain through this so you don't fucking kill yourself. Because honestly, a lot of like the trauma that got brought up, it was just putting me in a dark place. And it was like focusing on just staying here. And luckily, after winning that V-Friend, the V-Fam community like welcomed me with open arms. And it's something I'll never forget. And there's a reason I have so much love for so many people in this community, because there's a few people that like knew about everything I'm talking about, but not many. And even though I'm going through this and I didn't feel like myself half the time, I didn't feel like there was judgment. I didn't feel like anybody hated me for being me. I just felt like people understood. And it's the first time in my life that that's really ever happened, where people not only care and they're hyping you up. Like, I've done so much cool shit in my life and never have people hype me up, like, ever. Like, I talk because I just do things that aren't like in the norm, So I'm excited about it and I tell them about it and they just don't get it. So it's like, for just to have a group of people that not only get it, but to be as excited or even more excited than I am, and to be so supportive, was completely and utterly unlike anything I had ever seen in my entire life. And I thought that was like the most it could be at that point. But it gets better. So June rolls around. The only thing I really have for June is that in June, I stopped being a vegetarian. I was a vegetarian for a little over 5 years. It was like 5 years and like 3 weeks. And yeah, something about my testosterone being off and my weight being like 132 pounds. I'm 5'8", like I'm not super short. So I was just scrawny. Everybody around me was telling me how skinny I was getting, and that's not making it any better. Because like the mixture of depression, testosterone being off, eating vegetarian, which isn't helping my testosterone at all. And I just went back to eating meat. I feel a lot better. I've gained 20 pounds almost, like 15, 20 pounds since then of muscle, not of fat. Like, so I'm feeling great and better every single day. And now I'm actually going to be going hunting next year. I know that seems like a wild 180. But I fully believe that when you get new information, you should take it in and really like absorb it to make a better decision with proper information. Like, I went vegetarian because I don't like how animals are treated in factory farms. I still don't. I still will not eat fast food meat. I try my hardest to not really have too much meat out and about because I know what it is. And I know that those animals are tortured throughout their whole entire lives. And that kind of energy I didn't want in my body. So now that I'm more educated on it, I realize that hunting is actually a more viable option. It's healthier for your body. It's not full of all these hormones and bullshit. It's natural from the fucking earth, good old red meat. And there's farmers that, raise their animals ethically and, have the most ethically killed animals. I know that sounds cruel that you have to kill an animal, but the factory farms are literally slitting their throat and letting them die, while the humane people are putting an air gun and going and ending their life like this. So there's a big difference in the energy of the food that you eat, I believe. And that's why I went back to eating meat, because I found better sources of meat. So June was a big month for me because it was like that was life changing. People were like, "No fucking way, no fucking way." So, yeah, June, that happened, changed my life a little bit. The other thing we did is we started working on quest to meet Gary V, which I still haven't met Gary V, so the quest is not over. We have 5 episodes out of that. If you haven't checked it out on YouTube, it's on What Did Adam Say YouTube. We have a 5-episode series. The first episode is like when we went and got the tattoo, shows some footage of the car accident, the adventure we had down there, getting turned away from Gary's office multiple times. It was a crazy time. July rolls around. My CBD business is still going, but it's not doing well. I at the time I had 2 employees, and basically my payroll was eating into my profits. I had a mall location that just was not doing good, and my online sales were basically just making up for all that loss, and it was just like I'm working all month just to break even, essentially. And then it started going the other way, where we started losing money, and I watched my business savings start to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle, and I had to make a business decision. So I shut down the kiosk for uh, July and August. So those are our slowest months. So I had to shut it down. My people were good money wise. They actually needed a break because they were overworked. And I made a decision after talking to them that that's what we're going to do. And I wanted to do it to focus on the farming aspect because I just got a $3,000 loan in July to pay for the leasing on my land. I had no money besides just paying for the lease, but I was like, fuck it, I'm going to just figure it out. That's just kind of how I am. Like, I'm like, if I have something that I need to do, I'll just figure it out. And that's kind of what I did. So I shut down the kiosk for a couple months. We opened back up in September, and then October we were open, and I went to go get a deal for November and December of this year, and the mall basically priced me out of competition. So I've been literally negative thousands of dollars at the mall this year, and I needed the Christmas season to make up for it. And they priced me out of competition. Like, I did the math and I was like, there's just no way this makes financial sense. Like, I can't do it. And October ends and I had to lay off 4 employees, and I shut down my mall kiosk. Very disheartening. It's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. My employees completely understand. I was very, very upfront and honest with them and transparent because I believe as a leader, that's what you need to do, especially in times like that. And my people still have mad love for me. I still have mad love for my people. I love them so much, and I hope someday maybe I could hire them again. Maybe. So while I'm focusing on the farming, again, I don't have money. My business partnership basically just robbed me of $30,000. I'm left, all my customer base was just like up in the air because it was like we rebranded, we're not this anymore. There's all this stuff going on in the background that was like pretty fucking obvious, honestly. So it was just weary fucking times, very weary times. August rolls around. At this point, I already thought of a whole NFT project that I want to release. I don't think I've ever really said that. At this point in August, I already knew exactly what utilities I wanted on my NFT. I knew what the funding was going to, and I was just stuck. I was lucky enough to sit down with Droshik, who's in the VFriends community, VFam, and he is an artist. So we were talking about my NFT project, and I was just talking about how scared I was to release it, and I don't have any art, so I don't really know what to do for the art. And he said, "Well, what would you do if you could draw the art?" So I started explaining it to him, and then all of a sudden, we had NFT art done. I didn't waste any time because I knew the clock was ticking. Like, I already knew we're way too late for a crop, way too late. But I need to get a crop in the ground. I need to start prepping the land more, get it ready. Like, even if all I'm doing is getting it ready for next year. Luckily, we released the project. Within 3 days, we had enough funding for this year's crop. All the seeds, everything. Amazing. We sold out of the rare tokens in like a week and a half or 2 weeks, something like that. It was quick, maybe 3 weeks. And I still cannot believe that there are 20 people who just met me 6 months ago now at this point, who fully believed in me enough to spend between $300 and $1,000 on me, essentially, to invest into my project. At least two of them are in here right now that got the rare ones, Chaotic and Sarah. So those people together spent 0.5 Ethereum on my project. To me, that's fucking mind blowing. Okay. Again, I've never had support like this in my entire 31 years of living. So I get in the ground. I already know it's not gonna work. I just fucking knew, guys. Like, I hoped and prayed that it would work, but I'm just looking at the calendar and I'm like, damn, there's only like 6 weeks for these things to grow. Like, I don't know if that's really gonna work. Let's just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. So I prepped the land. More importantly, I tested my soil. That was the biggest thing I did this year. That's gonna make a difference for next year because my soil was like in like the 98th percentile. It's like all the way up there, but my pH was low. Now, if your pH is low in your soil, it means it's acidic. If you have an acidic environment, carbon life forms do not do well in the acidic environment. So, basically, what happens is all the good bacteria and everything that break down organic compounds to turn them into available nutrients for plants were all dying because it was too acidic. So, when I found that out, I started immediately fixing my pH, laying down some lime. Before I shut down for the season, I laid down some lime again. Before I shut down for the season, though, I wonder if I could send that picture to my phone. I don't know where my phone is. The entire field went from when I showed up in August, July, um, brown field, to not an inch of it not being covered in green by the time I was done. It wasn't hemp. It was my cover crop of winter rye mixed with some native weeds that were already growing there. Once I realized I wasn't going to get a crop, I started just like meticulously picking through the weeds that I didn't want there and the weeds that I want to keep, and just kind of like getting my whole area set up, visualizing what next year is going to look like. And I planted 25 to 30,000 seeds. I'd say maybe 200 popped up. Talking to farmers, this might be a good thing because apparently if you plant too late in the season, seeds can go dormant. And if the seeds went dormant, that means that next year, like 60 to 100% of them are just going to randomly pop up on their own. And if that happens, they became winterized because they sat over winter and got used to the environment. And they're going to be ridiculous plants. Like, I probably won't have to water them a single time that those ones are alive, to be honest. So it was just all about prepping for the future. I knew that this year might be a wash. I was hopeful and I tried really hard to have a crop, but I had in the back of my mind that it might be a wash. So it was. I basically had a failed crop, but not completely a failure because I was able to fix some of the major issues that were going on with my soil to be better for next year. Also, in September, around that time that I did the soil sample test and I started realizing that the hemp wasn't going to grow, I said, you know what, Adam? We need to bring back What Did Adam Say? That was 17 weeks ago. I've gone live every week for 17 weeks now, and I already have guests planned out all the way until June of 2022. So there's another 26 weeks added onto my streak. Couldn't think of the word. So this has been one of the most awesome things. I've really wanted to get affiliate, which, like I said, this is why we're drinking tonight. I'm not much of a drinker, but I'm celebrating. I hit affiliate. I've literally spent 2 fucking years on Twitch. The first year was last year when the shutdown first happened. I was playing video games with my friends and stuff, and I'm just not good at video games anymore. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. So then it would be like this, y'all. Ready? I'd be playing video games and hyper focusing. So it would look like this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be like a half hour goes by, and I realized I haven't said a word to anybody watching, even though nobody was, because I didn't say a word, and I wasn't good at video games. So I realized that's not gonna work, and I was like, "What if I put a podcast on there?" And my boys were all like, "Ah, that's probably not gonna work, dude. Like, people game on here; they're not really looking to watch a podcast on here." Here we are, a year and a half, 2 years later. I did it with a podcast. We did it with a podcast. I definitely could not have done it alone. I couldn't have done it. Sarah's been promoting my show like a motherfucker. Uh, Chaotic is in here literally every week, no matter what. Matt has been here for a few weeks now, every week. So, like, loyal listeners are starting to come in. My podcasts are averaging like 15 to 20 plays on them, like downloads. So 15 to 20 people are downloading and listening to it. And every week I'm just growing, whether it's one person, two person, like I'm just growing the audience as much as I can. So um let's fucking grow. That's exactly what it fucking is. So you could tell that my years kind of been like down and up and down and up and down. It's kind of been like crypto a little bit this year. Like, my life has been very reflective of crypto charts. Um Around September, I came to another realization. I needed to go get a job again. We've been living at the in-laws since 2016. We were supposed to be out of here long ago. It's just like everything that can go wrong went wrong. Like 2017, we thought we were buying a house that year, and I had lost my job because I asked for a raise. And because I lost the job and I was getting unemployment because I didn't get fired or quit, I started working on entrepreneurship, which, as we know, you don't really make a lot of money on in the beginning, if any. I didn't make any. All my money from even my CBD business, I used to pay my employees and to pay off my debts. I don't have any debts because I just like made sure everything was paid, even in spite of me not getting paid. I think, again, that's important as a leader. Pay your people, get them taken care of, and then worry about yourself whenever you can. It just is what it is. So October, I got a job. I have a full-time job at Mattress Firm. I sell mattresses again. Well, not again. I do sales again. I've been doing sales my whole freaking life. In October, it put me in a bad funk. It did. Like, when I started working, it felt like I failed. It felt like I was admitting defeat. It felt like I was a loser. Like, like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, I failed at entrepreneurship. I failed. This sucks. I loathed in self-pity for like a week and a half. And then I was like, this doesn't suck. I'm getting guaranteed money. I can still work on my businesses at work. I could still work on my NFT project. I could still do environmental research. I can talk to customers about it, so maybe I'll get lucky and find an investor out there fucking somewhere or something. And I'm adding stability to my family. For literally like 4 years, like, we had no clue. Like, we were just like scraping by as much as humanly possible. And so the job is definitely a blessing. I'm very happy to have had the job and still have the job. Trying to be a top salesman in that company too, like I've done in every company, trying to make six figures there. So that way we can buy some land, build a house, and really start our family. As a man, when you're not able to fully provide for your family, it fucks with you. It fucks with you. So, for my manhood, the job was very good too, because it was like, okay, now we have a path to provide. We got to get caught up, save for a house, and then this is how we provide. And we push through. By the way, lime juice and tequila with nothing else is actually pretty good. Not bad. If you like a little bit of sour, I know I do. So yeah, October I get a job. November I get COVID. Went almost the 2 years of since the shutdown without getting COVID, and I get COVID. Fortunately, it wasn't really that bad. I was like 4 days of just sleeping. Like that's all I wanted to do was sleep. I had a really bad migraine and my neck hurt and my lower back hurt. That was basically it. I didn't really have any breathing issues. I breezed through it. I got some ivermectin for the family. They breezed through it. I didn't take any ivermectin only because I was the one who brought it in. So I had already had it and was kind of getting past it by the time we got it. That little rest period, it kind of like allowed me to reconfigure things in my brain. And I decided to do version 2 of my NFT project completely and utterly differently. Now I'm working on for my NFT project. I haven't said this. I said this on somebody's interview yesterday on the V Friends Family, the show that I was on last night. I'm trying to do something crazy, y'all. I'm trying to really hook up my rare token holders. Like, we're trying to buy between 150 and 200 acres of land, and it will probably be bought before version 2 is released. So before any funding comes in, it will most likely be being worked on and bought and mortgaged because of partnerships within the VFam and everything. So my hair don't want to cooperate. I like threw on some headphones when I first got on. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, version 2. I'm really trying to give rare token holders a literal acre of land. I don't know if it'll happen. I can't make any promises, but those 10 people who bought rare tokens have believed in me more than any group of 10 people has ever believed in me. And I want to give back to y'all. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm also trying within that 150 to 200 acres, I'm trying to build like a V Friends community space where, like, if you hold a V Friend and you hold a Terrapothecary token, you can stay like kind of like a timeshare on our property 2 weeks a year or something like that. You know what I mean? I got to figure out all the details because it'll probably get complicated, but it is what it is. And that leads us to now, December 30th. It's almost the 31st. We're 2 hours away. And I hit my 2021 goal of becoming affiliate literally yesterday. Like today's show, I was almost semi-panicked about because I was like, we've got to average enough viewers again, even though we definitely would have done it tonight too. But I'm so grateful. This means that I can now start to make income from my podcast. So while I love giving information out free, I would also like to, make a little bit of money to be able to upgrade my stuff. You see, like, I have the green screen back here. The only reason the green screen isn't going is because my Canon camera shit the bed. It's just not working. So it refuses to turn on. So that's good. And I have not had a single minute to go drop it off at a repair shop. So always trying to upgrade the show. Can't do that without money though. You know what I mean? And I've already got, this is a $300 microphone, $70 stand, $2,000 computer. It's just a $1,000 camera. The shit adds up. You know what I mean? So if I can make a little bit of money, just not to have to spend money out of my pocket, I'm fucking happy. And I'm so grateful for everybody that's watching now, everybody that's watched along the way. My viewer count's going up, my follower count's going up, my watches are going up, and it's humbling because I've just been following Gary Vee saying, like, don't care about the viewers. There has literally been shows where I've seen 0 people on, guys, 0, when I first got started again. And because of consistency mixed with good content and good guests, we're here now. We're affiliates. Now the goal is to get 50, like I said, 50 subscribers by the end of 2022. And then the end of 2023 goal is to be a partner. So I'm patient. I'll grind a whole year with this many viewers and keep grinding, get one more viewer every week. I'm very patient. I have a very long-term vision for everything I do. Because you have to. That's the other part about the NFT project, guys. It's like it started as a way to get funding. Like I literally told people like, "Oh, I'm crowdfunding through NFTs to get money to be able to grow." I said that, but that's not true anymore. I'm thinking about 10, 25 years out for this project. The project accidentally went from like crowdfunding to like a whole life project. Like I am in this for life. And I think that a lot of NFT projects are not like that, and that's where they're going to falter because they don't have somebody at the helm who's just fully dedicated. Like y'all, I am constantly still every day I'm looking up um information on carbon. Yesterday's information that I looked up was the true carbon impact of Ethereum, right? Because everybody gives me shit saying, well, not everybody, a few people have given me shit saying, oh, how are you going to release an NFT project for a carbon sequestering environmental thing when Ethereum and NFTs are destroying the environment? So I had to dig deeper. And I'll read one sentence from the article that I read last night. It's a very in-depth article. If you want me to send it to you, I'll definitely do it. I'll be quoting it a lot. I'll be using the data from it a lot because this is a big game changer for me. So it says, this is the wrap up paragraph of sentence. It says, the narrative that Ethereum, DeFi, NFTs are causing climate change stems from the complexity to understand how it actually works. This narrative is not only inaccurate today, but completely ignores the tremendous impact Ethereum is having on solving climate change. I think we should communicate what Ethereum really is bound to become: the first carbon negative economic system. Not only does Ethereum contribute several thousand times less to emissions than the system it replaces, but it meaningfully supports the reversal of climate change through financialization of carbon markets. It expends its resources, infrastructure, and talent to drive a positive impact on society and should be recognized as the important solution to reversing climate change that it really is. Talk about completely and utterly against the narrative that crypto is bad for the environment. Did you guys know that crypto only uses like 10% of the energy that the traditional banking system uses? I didn't know that. I'm telling you, crypto is a disruptor, and they're going to continue to try to shoot it down and make it seem like it's stupid. Don't listen. There are so many people, so many smart people that I love and respect that completely and utterly do not agree with that. They know that crypto is the future. They know that, I mean, I'm a little bit worried that it's like a play into the World Bank thing. But if a World Bank is going to happen, I would rather be involved than not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather get in on the ground floor when little people like me can get in when I don't have to be a millionaire or a billionaire. So it's very, very important, I think, to get in on crypto if you have not already. Now, I just realized that I committed a crime. I haven't smoked to celebrate, guys. So who out here in my audience right now is a smoker, like cannabis? Got the new rig. We're gonna take a cold start dab. Let's see if I can. Big old fat dab in there. Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't know what a cold start dab is, I'll fucking show you right now. Where the fuck is my lighter, mate? Yo, I'm such a lightweight with drinking. I'm like not even done with my drink yet, and I'm a little buzzed. Whew. No, but for real. If I were a lighter, where would I be? Ah, that's where I'd be. Man, nobody's smoking with me. That amazed me. That really amazes me because I don't know, man. Like I just feel like I've always attracted stoners, and there's so many non-stoners in the VFam community. I feel like, which I respect. I'm gonna definitely be partying it up with y'all at VCon for sure, for sure. Yeah, I was talking about this on a show. I think it might have been on that interview I was doing last night. I was talking about how VCon is going to be 99.99999% good for me. And the only reason it'll be the 0.000001 not good for me is because I'm going to have so much anxiety because I won't be near my daughter. Lungs of steel. So cold start dab, it doesn't burn it. It tastes so much better. You say we about to roll up right now. Actually, there's a bong attachment to this thing too. So once it cools down, I'll throw on the bong and rip some of that too. Because I got a little bit of weed left somewhere. But yeah, yeah, dude. Nothing beats the cold start. Because then you can fucking keep heating it while you're smoking it and shit too. Who said stoners can't multitask? Yeah, I'm looking forward to VCon like a lot, a lot. This is the dab that never ends, and it goes on and on, my friends. So yeah, that's been my couple of years in review, mostly 2021, but had to go back to 2020 to really give y'all like the full story of everything that I've been through, and I'm excited. I think 2022 is gonna be the year I do my biggest thing ever. I don't know what it is yet. But I do know that I'm grateful for every single person that's in this room right now. And I hope that you'll continue to grow with me figuratively and literally. Shit don't want to end. Not complaining, but boys trying to talk shit, Martina, are you doing the Cage Titans February 5th? I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna. It's on my son's weekend. So I usually don't work on my son's weekend, but it's just such good money and it's so much fun and like I don't know, man. I don't know. If you guys don't know, I've been filming ringside for a fucking local MMA promotion and it's so fire. All right, that's burnt. Whew. All right. Shouldn't have taken that last one. Should not have taken that last one. That was Gross City. Oh, and it's all burnt and black now. I shouldn't have done that. Why do I do the things I do? The world may never know. So yeah. Dab City. Dab City, bitch. And then the important part of cold starting, guys. You got to make sure burn off the excess. Which, if I didn't burn it to shit, there really wouldn't be this much fucking excess. But as you can see, I literally burned it. Luckily, let me get that away from the microphone because that's probably big annoying. Luckily, all you have to do is heat it up and it'll all come out. It's the beauty of it when you get a nice quartz banger. I was using a nectar collector before this, and I do feel like it's getting better over the past couple of days. One, because I'm probably dabbing less, and two, because it's better filtration. But I literally felt like there was dabs like stuck in my throat, like at all times. I was constantly clearing my throat and shit. So, I don't know. Hopefully it helps. I'm really hoping it does. Damn, I burnt the shit out of this. I don't like this. It's gonna take forever to burn this off. Hello. Hello, pretty lady. Yeah. Really big. I hope y'all heard that. Are you going downstairs? On the little hutch thing down there, there's a little bag of weed. You can grab it. Thank you. As soon as I said out loud to you guys, oh, I think I got a little weed left, I immediately thought to myself, fuck, it's downstairs. That's hilarious. Man, we've had pretty good viewership on Twitch tonight. I've given up completely on live streaming on Facebook and just gone for Twitch. Although I got to get better about at least like posting it on Facebook and letting the people that know that watched it on there. I don't know. I fuck with Twitch so much heavier. First of all, I've illegal streamed, allegedly, legally, a few fights, and Twitch has never even given me a warning. I think they're supposed to, but I just keep it like as low key as possible. Like I'm not trying to get thousands of watchers on it. I just get a couple dozen people that I help out. Although there was one Jake Paul fight that we had literally 12,000. Hold on, I'll do the math. I'm not going to leave this here either because I will totally knock it over. Self-aware. Hey, fuck, what was I going to do the math on again? Stupid stoner brain. Yep. That's literally, it's like a bull pack. I don't smoke a lot of like regular weed, guys. So I like never have any. That's all I got. I gotta wait for that to cool down anyways. You going to bed? Well, that's fun. Potty animal. I think I'm gonna have one more drinky poo. Hang out with you guys. Maybe play some music since on Twitch I can do that. So I'll have to get off of YouTube probably because they will literally flag me for my own damn music. How stupid is that? How stupid is that, guys? My boy made the beats. I made the raps. We recorded it. Nobody else owns that shit. What? So what? Tequila. There's no carbs. There's no sugar. Buenos noches. Yeah, I definitely cough way less when I use my rig too compared to the nectar collector. I feel like I was smoking metal, honestly, guys. Like I was thinking about it. I was talking about it with one of my coworkers, and if you're wondering what I'm doing, swishing my drink. And we were just talking about how like I'm like, bro, I really like don't feel good. Like my throat, it shouldn't feel like this. And he's just like, we were talking about it, and he's like, dude, you need to get a rig again. I was like, I do need another nectar collector. It's gonna cost me like $40. So I spent like $70 on a rig. But as you can see, that was clear before. You can't really see it, I guess. But there's already shit that's been filtered out that if it was my nectar collector, it would have ended up in my lungs or in my throat. Like obviously I don't think smoking weed is bad for you at all, but dabs, the oils and everything when they get heated up, it can like it could literally go in your mouth when you're sucking it in because I watch it go up my fucking thing, like I watch it go up the glass and it comes in it's in there. So it can literally I feel like it can literally just get like stuck in there because it's like a thick oil and you need to heat it up or drink alcohol and make it go away. All right, let's see. Oh man, I done good, y'all. I done good. I thought that I was gonna have a hard time finding the bowl for this thing. Nay, I don't think you're supposed to really do this, but I don't really give a fuck. Excuse me, that was really gross. It's the tequila. I'm sorry, guys. That worked out swimmingly. I used a clothespin to grab the hot thing. It burnt it a little, but whatever. I like this. I like this. Should I play some music? That's what I was gonna do. That's what I was gonna do. Music. All right, YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. I got to get off of here because they will ban me if I play my own music. Peace out.